And greetings. Welcome to this week's Confidence Picks here on the channel. I'm Steve Deace with my co-host and partner here on Bigger Ten, Aaron McIntyre, as we are now immersed into the halfway point of the 2024 college football season already. And Aaron, let's get a check. Where are we here heading into week 8?
Yeah, I'd rather not. You did well. You missed 3. Maryland, Ohio State, UCLA. You hit on Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin, Penn State, and your bonus pick of Penn State, USC over 50. A lot of red on mine. That's embarrassing. Ooh. I feel like I never promised this like the Florida State fan, but I feel like I deserve to eat dog poop out of a red Solo cup for my picks last week. You've now opened a 23-point lead, 536 to 513, going into what I thought was the most difficult week of picks thus far.
I agree. I mean, I think this is the highest variance week we've had thus far, and there will be high variance weeks the rest of the way, including right at the very top. I'm going to put 7 on Oregon because it's the best bet, but man, I'm just a longtime Big Ten football fan, and we don't call them the spoiler makers for nothing, like I said on Bigger Ten. And I mean, Dylan Gabriel's been injury prone in his career, goes out there, rolls an ankle. Right? Mm-hmm. But I'll put 7 on Oregon. I'm going to put 6 on Wisconsin over Northwestern, but just like we said, before, this is again the kind of game Northwestern has won many times. Typically, I like teams that are coming home after big efforts on the road. It's back-to-back road games for the Badgers as well. But I actually think the injury to Tyler Van Dyke may have been a blessing in disguise in that they kind of have reverted to their original identity a little bit. And that plays more complementary football to the defense as well. So I will say Wisconsin gets it done playing a similar style to Northwestern with slightly better players. I'm going to go Iowa on the road for 5 over Michigan State, but I think Michigan State's very high variance in this spot. I think Aiden Childs could go off against an Iowa secondary that at times has shown it's a little bit leakier than what we are accustomed to. On the other hand, Jonathan Smith is trying to build a program that looks like Iowa's, and Iowa just, Kirk Ferentz has a 20-year head start on them. I'm going to go Rutgers to not lose 3 in a row and beat UCLA at home. There's the 2 time zone trend in this game is operative, as we have been talking about, and UCLA's travel has been as treacherous as any team in college football so far this year. And that is also why I'm going to pull the trigger and pick Maryland to upset USC. USC just suffered its dream crusher loss. All of its season goals now are off the table. I just don't know if you had the talent, if you had the pride and the grit and the toughness to pull yourself up. If you're USC, when you did it last week against Penn State, and they tried, they just couldn't finish. I have no idea what you're leaving Hollywood to go play in College Park, Maryland on a Saturday night. For what? Exactly. That's why I'm going to go with the Terps to pull a mild upset there. And then another very high variance game. And a lot of it really is because Michigan's the team we just don't know anything about at all. I would have gone more confident in this, but the line move has creeped me out, scared me a little bit here. The amount of money early, and that's all sharp money that has come in on Michigan early, and has moved the line to now past even the field goal and now to the hook as well. But Michigan, by the way, has only lost 2 games in Champaign since 1957. So, and then I'm going back to that game for my bonus. I'm going to take Michigan, Illinois over the 43. I think Luke Altmaier will throw a couple of touchdowns at least against that Michigan secondary. And then I think the total does not account for the fact that Michigan's offense with Jack Tuttle, I don't know that it's good, but I do think it's above Primordial Ooze, which is what it was before. Okay, so that strikes me as an Alex Orji Davis Warren total, and I think it'll be better than that. I don't know that it'll be good and how much better than that, but I just think that total is too low.
All right, for me, just tracking with you on the 7 and 6 point lines, I've got Oregon over Purdue, but as I said in the offseason, really, if this is any other team other than Purdue and what we've been seeing this year, if this were a Purdue team that had been in a bunch of games, that looked inconsistent at best, this would be upset alert all over just because of the situation for Oregon. I think Oregon still should get the job done. I'm not sure if they cover, but they should still get the job done. Wisconsin over Northwestern. No, other than the Oregon game, that's where I've got it at the 7. That's the most confident pick. I could go both ways on the rest of these picks, honestly. with some degree of confidence, or maybe lack thereof is what I'm saying. But I've got Wisconsin over Northwestern at the 6th spot. I'm going USC over Maryland. I still think that both of these teams are kind of constructed in the same way, or at least they kind of want to play the same way, and I still think USC has better players than Maryland does. So I know that a couple of factors are going against them. That's the time zone factor, and then the what are you playing for factor when it comes to USC. But I still just think this is maybe a Jimmy's and Joe's type of game. I've got at the 4 slot Iowa over Michigan State, though I'm not super confident in this one either. Iowa going on the road to play at night. I'm not sure what that environment is going to be like, but it's still Michigan State. It's still a proud program. Still got a lot of really proud fans. I think they'll show up. I think it could be a difficult environment for Iowa to deal with, but I still think that they should be able to get the job done against the Spartans. Number 3, I am going to go Illinois over Michigan, although I did see the line change moving very early in the week, which, as you alluded to, that means something is up that with the sharp bettors. It's still too unsettled at the quarterback position with Michigan for my liking. The benefit that they just had a bye week. So hopefully Jack Tuttle, if you're a Michigan fan, hopefully he's kind of got a little bit more command over that offense. But how long has he been with your program?
This is his 3rd year.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just don't trust Michigan. I trust Illinois a little bit more than I do Michigan, notwithstanding the fact that they had to outlast Purdue in overtime last week. Number 2, I've got Indiana over Nebraska. I thought about pulling the trigger for the upset with Nebraska going on the road. We're talking about Nebraska, though. And until they show me, and the only reason that I didn't is because we're talking about Nebraska. And until they can show me that they can win big games, close games late, which I think this one could be, I'm still just not going to pick them. And I know that sounds crazy going against Indiana, but still, I don't trust Nebraska. And 1, I've got Rutgers over UCLA. Not confident in this at all. Rutgers with Ethan Kaliak-Menis. That wasn't a great game last week, was it? That was not great. And so, again, much like Michigan, you just cannot hide your quarterback. So I think they should be able to get it done against UCLA, but UCLA has been competitive in a lot of games that I didn't think that they were going to be. So I don't know. I'm not confident in that at all, and that's reflected in the fact that I'm only putting 1 point on that game. For my bonus pick, this is not really a contrarian play, but because of the way that these two teams like to play or want to try to play, I'm going USC and Maryland over 57 points. You've still got question marks when it comes to USC's defense. Not that I have a great deal of confidence in Maryland's offense, but I do think there is a possibility we could see a lot of points in that game. So USC Maryland over 57 is my bonus pick this week. As you can see by the amount of times I went, I'm not confident this week at all.
Correct. Well, by my count, that's 18 points of variance there before we even get to the bonus picks. So could see a shakeup in the standings this week for sure. All right, don't forget to like, rate, share, subscribe, follow, etc., etc. And until the next week, we'll see you right here on the channel. For Aaron McIntyre, I'm Steve Day. See you then.